and welcome to Base Camp. I'm Pastor Pat. Have you ever noticed on cartoons that some characters just never seem to learn? That they keep making the same bad choices again and again and again. The coyote always tries to catch the roadrunner. The older sister always tries to bust her little brother. A certain team always tries to catch an electric mouse but ends up blasting off again. It's like every night they lie awake trying to come up with a new plan to do the same thing.
The Thumby and the mind, the Thumby and the mind. One wants to rule, the other's a fool. They feel they're overlooked, even though he is a crook. They're Thumby and the mind, 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 mind.
Gee, mind, have you ever noticed that crown and down both rhyme? Yes, Thumby. What of it? Well, maybe they rhyme because everyone who tries to get the crown falls down. Narf! I don't have time to meditate upon elementary musings of rhyming schemes and their significance or lack thereof on the grander scale of monarchical transference, Thumby. I'm busy, Thumby. Right, busy? Busy doing what exactly? Planning for tonight. Why? What are we going to do tonight? The same thing we do every night. Try to take over the kingdom. Right. And why do we want to do that again? Because if we don't, it will go to my little brother. And that would be bad? Exceptionally. Why exactly? Because then it won't go to me. Honestly, Thumby, if you were any dimmer, I'd need a flashlight just to stand near you. Ooh! And then we could do shadow puppets! North! The king is so old that he can't keep himself warm anymore. They've actually started to put someone under the blankets with him to try to heat him up. Are you pondering what I'm pondering, Thumby? I think so, mind. But where are we going to get 12,000 woolen socks at this hour? No, Thumby. We don't need 12,000 woolen socks. That's good, because think how cold those sheep would get if they were naked. North! We don't need socks because we need a crown, and I know just the way to get one. Wonderful! Just don't take Jack's. I am not after Jack's crown. Good, because he fell down and broke his. I am after my father's, and I will get it by having a sacrifice and inviting the kingdom's officials and my brothers to a banquet and declaring that I am king. Then the entire kingdom shall be mine. Is that all it takes to become king? A banquet? Well, that and inviting all those people, yes. Yes. Oh, no, but wait. Well, what if they don't all come? Would you skip a free meal, Thumby? Good point, mind. Now, you send out the invitations and I will start cooking. Okay. Where are the invitations? I've already made them out. All you have to do is go put them in the mailbox. Right. Just send out the invitations. Have all the guests arrived? I think so. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, I suppose you are wondering why I called you here today. I hope it's for food. Be a lousy banquet if there isn't any food. Yes, Thumby. There's going to be food. But more importantly, I am declaring myself to be king. Hooray! Does that mean that this will be a meal fit for a king? Not fit for just any king. Fit for me. What was that? Well, it appears that one of your brothers isn't here, and that the king was named him to be the new king instead of you. What? Well, why isn't he here? Maybe it's because he wasn't invited. Never mind, everyone. It appears that the banquet is off.
Narf! Not even dessert!
We don't have time for dessert, Thumby. We must begin to plan for tomorrow night.
Why? What are we going to do tomorrow night?
The same thing we do every night. Try to take over the kingdom.
They're Thumby and the mind.
It seems the mind will never learn his lesson. He might not be as smart as he thinks he is. King David's sons, they were the same way. He had several who tried different ways, multiple times, to get the kingdom for themselves. We've talked about Absalom before, but another one was Adonijah. David had declared that his son Solomon would be king after him, but Adonijah, well, he wanted to be king instead. So, along with several of David's advisors, Adonijah came up with a plan. He would have a sacrifice and a banquet and invite all of his other brothers to join him and declare himself to be king. The one brother he didn't invite was Solomon. Word got back to the prophet Nathan about what was going on, and he and Solomon's mother, Bathsheba, went to David about it. David declared that Solomon would be king. He had him anointed, and then blew trumpets to declare to all the people that Solomon was indeed the next king, and not Adonijah. That kind of ruined Adonijah's party. Adonijah was afraid that Solomon would kill him for what he had tried to do. But Solomon said that as long as Adonijah had learned his lesson, nothing bad would happen to him. Adonijah claimed he had learned his lesson. Adonijah had not learned his lesson. He tried to get the throne again. He even attempted to trick Bathsheba, Solomon's own mother, into helping him to get it. Solomon saw through this second scheme of Adonijah's, and this time, Adonijah and everyone who had been helping him, well, they were executed. It's a sad thing when we don't learn from our mistakes, when we keep doing the same wrong things over and over again. Eventually, they're going to catch up with us. In fact, if we keep doing the same wrong things, can we even call them mistakes? A mistake is something that you do by accident or something that you do without realizing the consequences. But once you've done that thing several times, can you really say that you don't know any better? God has grace for us when we make a mistake, and even grace when we come to Him for forgiveness for sins. But let's not think grace erases all natural consequences. Also, let's not take advantage of God's grace and treat it cheaply. Remember, God's grace was bought with Jesus' blood. Romans chapter 2, verse 4 asks, "Do you show contempt for the riches of His kindness, forbearance, and patience, not realizing that God's kindness is intended to lead you to repentance?" When we keep returning to our previous sins, just assuming that God will forgive us, we are showing contempt for God's grace and kindness. God shows us grace and kindness so that we can recognize what we've done wrong and choose to do what's right instead, not so that we can just keep on doing wrong. Adonijah was shown grace, but instead of learning from what he had done and changing his ways, he used that grace to simply try to do the same wrong thing again. That didn't end well for him. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake, but let's make sure that we learn from it. I'm Pastor Pat with Base Camp, a ministry of Summit Church in beautiful Bozeman, Montana. We have services every Sunday at 10 o'clock, and we'd love to have you join us for them. You can also find us online at summitchurchmt.com and on Facebook and YouTube at Summit Church MT. Our children's ministry Facebook page is Base Camp Kids Min. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll see you next time. Bye. Are you pondering what I'm pondering, Thummy?
I think so, mind. But who's got time to create 52,363 new accounts just so we can like, comment, subscribe, and share all the Basecamp videos over and over? Narf!